Abandonment. What do you think about abandonment? How do you feel when you hear that word? What do you think about releasing pain? What do you think about forgiving? Are you in the point where you think you can forgive someone? Genuinely, honestly. What do you think about readiness? And what do you think about self esteem? So, abandonment sometimes happens in the childhood when you feel the absence of attention or the absence of the presence of the people you love. And at that point, you might not be able to express how you feel because of the age, the moment, the circumstances, and you grow up with a pattern. Now, when something happens and it reminds you that past event, you repeat the pattern you have learned by force, or maybe you didn't have any chance. That pattern becomes part of you. You identify it as part of you. Now, abandonment, it might restrict your willingness to be open. Why? Because you want to protect yourself from that happening again. So you continue life, you grow up, you become an adult, you have kids or not, but you still hold that pattern. You still keep that pattern available enough for you to recognize if it comes again and protect yourself. So it's a cycle. It happens, you have memory of it, you create a pattern which it makes you feel safe, and then you apply that pattern so you avoid that happening again. Readiness is a very, very powerful thing and is a state or condition where you cannot force readiness. It comes on its own. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Oh wow. How is it? You wasn't able to do this. You weren't able to do this 6 months ago. I am ready. Self-esteem will be based on the valorations, the the expectations you have created, the image that you have created with yourself, and you give it meaning and value. That will be the level of esteem that you have to yourself. And it's connected to the abandonment because when you have the sensation of being left apart, that will be linked to your value. I wasn't very valuable enough to that person. I wasn't very visible enough to that person. I wasn't what I think I should be to that person. So the chain which comes with the abandonment, the readiness, the self-esteem, they are all together. One is silence, which is the readiness, but it depends on how deep you have gone in this process. So sometimes hitting the bottom might be one of the positive incentives for you to redirect your life and change it. Now, you don't change your life, you change the direction, the trajectory of your life. Because what you have already experienced is in your memories in the past. It doesn't belong to you, but it's different because you already have an attachment to your past. So you change the direction, which is different, and the direction might be willing to release that sensation of abandonment, of low self esteem, and the block to your readiness. So if we remove ourselves from this present and we go to the moment when that event happened, it will make perfect sense. The conclusion we had, what happens, and why it happens. Now, from a compassionate state, to see others as us, to understand that we have an intrinsic ignorance, even the innocence as a child. So, that is exactly one of the ingredients that enable that event to happen. So, when we know that this is exactly one of the messages, not the reason, because now I'm going to use different languages so it can be useful for us and we can preserve the patience to see, the patience to understand, and the love to ourselves. So I'll be using different kind of languages. Okay? So for example, because we bring to the table the compassion in others, in ourselves, we admit the ignorance of not knowing, the innocence of trusting no matter what. That will help us to see with much more clarity and much more depth. Therefore, we will not feel related to that experience. So let's say your parents, you have the conclusion that they didn't give you enough attention, quality time, love, presence. Let's go to that past. From the sense of willing to observe, not to judge them, because judgment is a glass that will eclipse the reality. Because you are already putting yourself in a position where you are missing the whole context and the whole field. So we go to the past and we look at ourselves first. I was a child. I was a young boy, young girl, and I trust this and I was believing this. I've been told this. We look at our parents and we say, oh, maybe they were ignorant as well. The ignorance to see how I was feeling, the innocence to think that everything was okay, and the compassion to understand that they did the best they could. They were dealing with their moments, with their evolution. We all know as adults what it's like to have responsibilities. You have to attend your job, you have to attend your family, and you also have to attend yourself, which sometimes will leave it in the last place. Now, Ralph, this is very painful for me. I cannot forgive my parents. Let's tweak it. Let's forgive yourself because you are carrying this pain for so long. Once we forgive ourselves, oh, I forgive myself because I'm carrying this pain. I'm resisting this with this stone. I'm allowing the past to eclipse what I am really, what is the real essence of what is speaking. Then you'll be able to forgive them. When you have the compassion with yourself, you'll be able to have compassion for others. So, when that is done, and we let that stay in the past, readiness will come on its own. Self esteem will raise up. Confidence will come. Why? Because you have been able to face something with what you are, with your source, which is love. Now, sometimes it might look like a weakness. That's for the ego, that's for the game. Ego is very smart because what it does, first, you have the collective ego that gives it sense of validity, of reality, of improvement. Because the ego is collective, we accept it. Then we have the individual one, which we can sometimes fall in the trap to accept it. So the ego is very smart. It will tell you, listen, this is very common. How are you going to think different? How are you going to be so weak? Second, it will punish you because it will make you feel as a victim. Look at you. They abandoned you. They did this to you. See your value. And then he will say, don't forgive. So, in one hand is the victim, and another one is holding the revenge, is holding the vision of he's going to pay me back this. And the ego will take you straight away to the grave in order to be humble and recognize that this is not you. It's an identity, it's a creation. So imagine the state of abandonment in many, many aspects in your life. When you try something, it didn't work. When you had a relationship, it didn't work. Now we change the language. It's not like it didn't work. It wasn't fulfilling my expectations. And I let go of the expectations and I take the message from this. It's a different language. Self esteem is protected. So either you win or you lose. It doesn't define what you are. Because sometimes losing is winning and sometimes winning is losing. If I lose the grip of holding resistance, I'm winning. I'm winning peace, light. I'm winning the direction of my life. The compass is going straight to the source, which is you. I'm regaining the power again. Tell me what is much more powerful than love. Tell me a team, a working team, that there is love between them. Tell me how weak you have felt when you keep in the mind someone you love. Go and do exercise and keep in the mind someone you love and see how you feel. Incredibly empowered. That is the impact of feeling love. When you go out with your dogs, it's cold, but let me take the dog outside. The satisfaction of giving, that's your power. But giving it to yourself. So, we don't need to blame the ego. We don't need to talk about the ego like something that is wrong. The ego is part of us. It's the heritage of the humanity. It's heritage, it's what it is. Now we recognize it, we see it, we live with it, but we don't accept the ego to drive the car of our lives because it will crash. So abandonment might be the very thing that can bring you back to your track. Now the way we approach it, the language we use, the love we bring, the compassion to ourselves first, forgiving ourselves for carrying this. You don't feel okay not because of what they did. You don't feel okay because you still hold the grip of a burning stone. So we forgive ourselves for holding the burning stone. Then we are able to forgive the rest. And love will always remind you that you are in the right path. Why? It will give you peace. It will give you the knowledge to approach any situation from your wisdom. You are wise. There's no difference between you and anyone. It's just the fact that everybody's at the point they are. Let's see life as a motorway. Someone is 10 miles ahead, 20, 50, the same, close behind. That's how life is. Any spirit with his car of life is at the point where they are and is perfect. Now, remember, your self esteem can only come if you have healed, if you have regained the confidence that you already are to face whatever comes with readiness. When someone is ready, is confident. But that readiness is not personal. It's the energy that is in you that makes you feel ready. When there is an absence or a lack of low vibration, then the love will push you through. Love is what makes you watch this video. Unconsciously, you love yourself. Love is what makes me go to Tesco and be able to buy bread or food or water. Love is what makes me have light in my house. Love is what makes me share this video with you. And love is what is going to make you change the direction of your life. So take it easy. Have a wonderful day. I send love to your soul. I wish you all the best. Abandonment, remember how it works. Remember that when you you place faith on what really works, success is granted. Okay? Readiness only when there is love. Esteem depends on how we want to see life. The identity we have with ourselves. And abandonment is the hidden gift to never abandon ourselves again. Abandonment starts from you. Okay? May the universe bless you with all your richness, your light, your power. See you in the next video. Thank you for existing. Take very good care.